Will the students of the 9th grade pass the Algebra 1 Regents? Concentrate and ask again. Will the students of the 9th grade pass the Algebra 1 Regents? As I see it, yes. Let's go! You will pass that Regents, but only through hard work. We got this. So, game plan today. Here, we were learning how to solve systems of equations, and yesterday we went through some level 1s. Today, we're going to get to level 2. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video, try this question on your own, by yourself. I want to see you struggle. I want to see you ask me for questions if you need it, but try your best. Okay? All right. If you tried your best, let's see. What is nice right now? Right now, you should say, oh, look, I have negative 10y and positive 10y. You should be thinking, cha-ching! The second you get a negative and a positive of the same number for the same variable, that's good. Because what we could do is, let's add the equations. Okay? So if I add the equations, let's see what happens. 3x plus 8x, that's going to be 11x. So this is 11x. What is negative 10y plus 10y? That is 0y. Or you could just say that this cancels, right? And then why is that? Because what is 0y? 0y is the same as 0 times y. What is 0 times anything? 0. So technically there's a 0 here. So I could say like 11x plus 0 equals, well, let's see what's here. What's negative 46 plus 24? If you grab your calculator. Negative 46 plus 24, and that is negative 22. So notice that this is negative 22. And if I were to continue a little bit, like you were to say, oh, let's have the 0, but what's 11x plus 0? That's just 11x equals negative 22. So you could have just canceled this, right, and not have anything here. But notice that our strategy is we went from 2 variables to 1 variable. So now that you have this equation, 11x equals negative 22, what's the winning move? Here, divide both sides by 11, right? So what do? I just go like this. I divide this side by 11. I divide this side by 11. And here, these subtleties I'll show right now. Let me zoom in a little bit. Notice, what is 11x divide by 11x, right? Sorry, pause. There's no x here. What is 11 divided by 11? That's 1x, or just x, right? So here, technically, there's a 1x equals, what's negative 22 divided by 11? That is negative 2. So notice this is the same as saying x equals negative 2. Bam! Very, very, very nice, right? So now we have x is equal to negative 2. Does that mean we're done and we should celebrate? No, because now what do you need to find? You need to find y. So you see, once you get one of the variables, now plug in x equals negative 2 into either equation 1 or equation 2, right? This is equation 1, right? This is equation 2. So you get to pick. You could plug in this negative 2 into this equation or that equation. The choice is yours. If you had to look and say, which equation is a little bit nicer? I would have to say this equation over here because you have some positive numbers. Here, when you have negative numbers, it gets a little bit trickier, but you could still do it. So then what do? We look over here, let's take this 8x plus 10y equals 24. Substitute x equals -2 into here, right? So x is equal to -2. So what I'd like you to do is, if you did not get to this part and feel like, oh, mister, I don't have that much space, grab a loose leaf paper, try it on your own. Plug in -2 into this equation and see if you can get y by yourself. So let's see. What happens here? 8 right? Now here, yesterday I noticed you guys are, some of you are getting stuck over here. You're like, oh no, what do I do, right? Like, I know I need to get this y by itself, but what do I have to do? Here, because you want this y by itself, and you see how the 10 is here, what you want to do is you want to get rid of this -16. What's the opposite of -16? Plus 16 plus 16. So now what is -16 plus 16? That's 0, right? So this cancels. Bring down the 10y equals 24 plus 16 is 40. Now if I have 10y equals 40, what you're saying is 10 times what number gives me 40? Right? Divide 10, y is equal to 40 divided by 10, so y is equal to 4. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is how we solve a system of equations. So we have x is equal to -2, y is equal to 4. All right, and then if you want to be very fancy, which I'd like you to practice, show it as a point. Show it as a point, as an x comma y. All right, what I'd like you to do is, I don't have enough time, I want you to try this by yourself, okay? Try by yourself and we'll go over it together in class. But now, for the good part, level 2. Let's take a look at a level 2 together. Here, what makes this level 2 versus this being level 1? Notice that in level 1, oh, you have a negative and a positive of the same number. You have a negative and a positive of the same number next to the same variable. But for level 2, oh no, you don't have it. You don't have it. So you see, what you need to do is, you want to try to manipulate and change either the first equation or the second equation such that these two are a positive and negative of each other, or here you have a positive and a negative of each other. What I just said was super important. If you need to hear it again, rewind, please. I'll say it one more time. You need to make these a positive and negative of each other. So you see how over here, this was, like here you see how you have 9x over here? What do you wish this was? You wish this was a negative 9x. You want them to be the same. Now, when I look at it, I say, I wish this 3x was a negative 9x, right? That's what you want. You want this 3x to be a negative 9x. What must I do? Or what must I multiply to 3x so it becomes negative 9x? Right? 3x times what gives me negative 9x? That's the question you have to ask. Now, you could pause the video and think about it, right? What will it be? It will be -3. And that's what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to multiply any number you want to either equation. And if I multiply something to one side, I have to multiply it to the other side. Because you want to make this 3x become a -9x. So then what's going to happen now is, let's take a look. This -3, if I were to multiply it into the whole entire thing, let's take a look. This is -3x times 3x, I'm sorry, -3 times 3x is -9x. -3 times 3y is -9y. 6 times, or equals, 6 times -3 is -18. Now the bottom equation stays because you don't want to do anything to it, but wow, take a look at what you did. You have a positive and a negative of the same coefficient for that variable. And now, when you add the equations together, what's going to happen here? This will cancel. So if you need to rewind it, this was super important. Okay? And it's this thinking. This is the question you must ask yourself. What must I do to make sure that these two are the same? Right? But positive and negative. So what I'd like you to do is try, pause the video, finish it. Finish this question. You can do it. Because the difficult part was getting to this point. You could do it. I believe in you. Which is the nicer equation, the top one or the bottom one? I think the top one, right? That original equation you had. See, that original equation was 3x plus 3y equals 6. You could still use this equation to plug in this value of y to solve for x. Go for it. Go for it. You could do it. You could do it. You could do it. Pause the video. Try and get it. Who's going to pass that Regents? Will they pass that Algebra 1 Regents? Do you believe in them like I believe in them? My sources say no. Prove the magic 8 ball wrong. You got this. Try the next one. I believe in you.